What up, y'all? How's it going? BenDeen here, and today I'm going to be talking about dating in South Korea. Now, I'm not an expert on this topic, but over the years I've been living here, I have picked up a lot of knowledge by talking with Korean people or non-Korean people who have been living in Korea for a long time. I think I definitely know a decent amount, at least a lot more than I knew before I came to Korea. So if you're, interested or curious about this topic, or if your dream is to come to Korea and date a Korean person, then maybe you will find some of this info useful. I just gotta say, all of these things aren't 100% specific to Korea. It's not like it only happens in Korea, but these things are all common in Korea, and if you ever move here, you'll probably figure this stuff out pretty quick. So I'm just gonna get started with the first stage of dating, which is like how you meet. There are a couple common ways of meeting a potential partner, and one of them that stands out and to me almost seems very Korean style is sogating, which is basically blind dating, where there's a mutual friend who kind of has two single friends and they hook them up and set them on a blind date. Out of all the couples I've ever met or known in Korea, I would say sogating accounts for at least like 50%. At least that's what it seems like to me. So in America or another country, I haven't been in America for a long time. I might be kind of out of touch on how dating works in other countries, but if you're going on a blind date in America, that could be kind of an interesting thing. Like, oh, that's kind of unique, right? Or maybe not, I'm not sure. But in Korea, that's just like such a common thing that it's really not a unique thing at all. There's also something similar to sogating called meeting, which is Korea takes a lot of English words and turns them into their own words, but there's a thing called meeting, which is basically like, 2 or 3 guys and 2 or 3 girls. I think a lot of younger, like college kids, will do this, and they'll just meet up like 3-on-3, 4-on-4. You each try to pick a potential mate and do it that way. And I gotta talk about Tinder. I'm pretty sure this is all the rage, even though I don't really know from personal experience. I've never used it before, but I heard that like in America everyone's on Tinder. In Korea, Tinder does exist and there are apps similar to Tinder as well, but from what I've heard and what I know, it's mostly used kind of as a platform to hook up foreigners and Koreans, or Koreans and non-Koreans, basically. You'll have your random hookups, you'll have maybe things that could get more serious even. I have a lot of non-Korean friends who have used it, and they say all the Korean people are basically looking for someone who's not only foreign but looks foreign, has that foreign look to them, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure there are Korean people who meet other Korean people through these apps as well, but I do not believe that it is that common, at least compared. So speaking of hookups and stuff, I gotta just mention it real quick. One night stands, it's not really a part of dating, but it's kind of in the same field. So I would definitely say that one night stands do happen in Korea. Random hookups, stuff like that. I believe it is less common than in America or other Western countries, perhaps. Korea tends to be more of a conservative country in general, but like I said, it definitely does happen. It's not non-existent. So from what I remember, in America, if you start, getting into someone and maybe start meeting them and kind of getting on that road to being exclusive and official, you're just talking to that person. That's at least what we called it where I'm from. You're in that talking stage. Oh, I'm talking to this person, or we're talking, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm just completely out of the loop here, but I feel like in America, you could be talking to someone for a decent amount of time, pretty much, on that path there, but maybe not 100% official. And you could be in that stage for a while until it does become official, Maybe that's just my personal thought. Maybe I just don't have much adult dating experience in America, if any. But I feel like that's how it works. In Korea, that talking stage is, I wouldn't say non-existent, but it would be a lot shorter in general. Like my girlfriend tells me that, a lot of times you're just going in for the kill. It's like you might not even be that comfortable with someone before you officially start dating. And I'm sure this happens everywhere. You can become official in any amount of time, really. But I feel like in Korea, that amount of time can be a lot shorter. So you could meet like once or twice and then become official. There's kind of a slang term that came out recently in Korea called sum. And I think this is basically like maybe that talking stage or like a friends with benefits kind of relationship. So it is a thing here in Korea, but I feel like generally you just hop right into relationships. Again, maybe that's how it works these days in other countries too, but who knows? Not me. Another thing that I've heard about dating in Korea is you can be really open real quick. You can drop the L-bomb. I'm talking like in the first week or 2 in Korea. It might have a different connotation, just the word. When you drop the L-bomb in English and when you drop it in Korean, it might have a different kind of feeling toward it, but I've heard that you can drop that real quick, and in America, you don't want to drop that too quick. Probably in other countries as well. And also, Koreans will get big into celebrating their anniversaries, and a weird thing is like, a lot of couples will celebrate their 100-day anniversary, like a 200-day anniversary, 300-day anniversary, stuff like that. I'm not sure why they count it like that, just a cultural difference, but that's a lot of anniversaries. I think once a year is pretty okay, but you know. So some things that you might see outside or might not see outside is something like PDA. You won't see that much PDA outside in Korea. You'll see a lot of couples holding hands, you know, the arm around the shoulder or the waist. I mean, that's commonplace, but I'm mainly talking about like kissing and that kind of stuff. You're not going to see a whole lot of that. You'll see it from time to time, but it's definitely not as common as it is in other countries. Also, what you might see in Korea, and maybe not in that many other countries, is couple clothing, couple outfits. You'll see this stuff. You'll see it all the time. Wherever you go, if I go outside right now, I'll see it. Couples wearing the exact same outfit, or at least color coordinated clothes. I'm not sure exactly why this is done. I think it's kind of like flaunting their couple status. Maybe you're just really into matching. I'm not really sure, but sometimes you'll see it. Same shoes, same like socks, same pants, same shirt, same coat, same hat. And it gets pretty intense. Alright, so I've covered all like the basics. I'm going to talk about something that is very different from other Western countries at least, and that is living together. In Korea, couples will generally not live with each other until they get married. A big reason for that is, well, traditionally, especially women will live with their parents until they get married, and a lot of guys too, or just a lot of Korean people in general. These days, you'll see a lot of people, younger people who aren't married, living by themselves, but still you won't see a lot of couples living together in the same apartment or house or whatever until they get married. I've only personally seen this in a couple occasions. You know, again, I don't know that many people here in Korea, but one was between a Korean person and a non-Korean person, and they were living together and not married. And the other one was between two Korean people who told their parents, we're gonna get married, we're not sure when yet, but we plan on getting married, so we're gonna live together. I'm sure it's done low-key, but I can't really imagine a Korean couple telling their parents, we're gonna live together. I don't know if we're gonna get married or not, but we just want to live together. I can't imagine that happening. I'm sure it does occasionally though. And it depends on who you are, but there are probably plenty of occasions where you won't introduce your girlfriend or boyfriend to your family for an extended period of time, maybe not until you want to get married. So there are quite a bit of differences when it comes to dating, and a lot of things that are kind of very common in Korea or unique to Korea. And I hope you guys found that interesting. That's pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.